All right, Dr. Perry, more stories. That's a little job security for me. I appreciate it. I did not pay for that plug. Uh, Everybody, Recovery Reinvented, let's give a round of applause for Hunter. Hunter, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, what you do for a living, family, pets, and of course, the ever important, what do you like to do for fun?
Hunter Parisien. First start off, I'm in recovery. My sober date was September 20th, 2013. And I have been in healthcare and public health for the past 16 years. I live in the St. Michael area, which is by Devil's Lake. I'm married, and I have 4 children. The things I like to do for fun, whenever it's nice out, for the 6 months we have it being nice, I like to golf anytime, any free chance I get, and then also work on whittling down that ever-expanding honey-do list that I have.
Hunter and I both shared a hobby of ours is to finish one job so you can start 2 more. I feel you there. Hunter, let's talk about how we got here today. Let's dig a little bit into just briefly what active addiction looked like for you.
What it was pretty much going through the day, wondering when the other shoe was going to drop, just working on a hair trigger in regards to, oh my God, this is going to happen. I'm going to have to go out and drink now, and that's the way I kind of conducted myself in regards to handling stress and issues that were going on in my life. And then it's just, it's a never-ending thing. It's always poor, pitiful me. Why is the world always against me? Things like that. And it's just almost a self-fulfilling prophecy where I keep sending myself into these places in my mind where the only way I can escape it is to turn to alcohol, is what I did. And then I would go out to the bars and meet people and be that happy, fun-loving guy that I always was. And that's what I did for about 12 years.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, you mentioned using it as a coping mechanism. If healthy coping mechanisms haven't been modeled to us, and we figure out that this drug or alcohol works, then what the heck? Let's just dig in, right? And what could go wrong? But things do go wrong.
Yes.
One of the things that we talked about was being high functioning, and that can sometimes pose a challenge if we're able to complete things in our day-to-day life, but we still have this gut feeling that something isn't quite right, and there needs to be a bit of a transition. So how did that look for you, Hunter? That recognizing that, all right, I'm accomplishing things, but there needs to be a shift.
Yeah, I had a very influential supervisor that sat me down when I started early in my healthcare career and said, I'm not going to ask you what you do outside the hours of operation. You're young, you want to go out, but you will be here 8 o'clock sharp, ready to work. So I took pride in the fact that I never missed work because of drinking, but at the same thing, it kind of gave that rationalization and kind of helped me lie to myself that I didn't have a problem because I didn't miss work. And we talk about how I've advanced in my career where I've had, a slow climb through my career to get where I am today. But, I really didn't have those downfalls, and it took until I became sober and realized the potential I unlocked to be the employee that I am today, just how much that alcohol was holding me back. It took being sober to realize that, and that's one of the things is you do a lot of rationalization of, well, you know what, I haven't got a DUI, I haven't lost a job because of drinking, things like that, and I got a fairly decent life in the eyes of people, and people talked about the social media posts and you put that picture out there, but in the end, people seen that part of me, and they really didn't see the part of me that was on the drive home already thinking about, how strong was I going to make that first drink.
Yeah, I think that we set a low bar for ourselves, And that's our unit of measure for success, or have we reached a problem? And for whatever reason, a problem is a bridge or a doorway and a brown paper bag. And if we're not there, then we're good, right? One of the things that can keep us also in that active addiction too is fear surrounding the stigma of addiction. With a bit of time under your belt, how have you handled that stigma, and where do you sit with it today?
Well, I approached the First Lady at the government conference earlier this year because I really enjoyed the venue and the message she was trying to get across about the stigma is that I was looking for a way to be an advocate and help people. I've always told people I'm not going to be that one waving a Bible at you, preaching to you, but I will be here to answer questions if you do have questions of what it's like to be in recovery, what steps can you take. So when I seen her presentation on Recovery Reinvented, I made sure I came up to her and told her I appreciated her presentation and I would love to be a part of it whenever. And then they asked, her organization got back to me and I was able to do this. And but the stigma, that's one of the things I'm very strong believer in, is that we have to make sure that we drop that stigma in it, because we have to have people from all walks of life know that it's okay to ask for help, no matter how successful in the eyes that you are of people. And then everybody needs help, and they shouldn't be afraid to ask for it.
Amen to that. And I just want to say, like, you're an asset to your community, and for those of us as people in recovery, I'm grateful for people like you just having that willingness to share your story. I want to ask you the same question I've asked everybody else to close this out. Hunter, what is a positive that recovery has brought into your life that you'd like to share with the group today?
Probably I'll tell people about the very first anniversary. Me and my wife, give a shout out to my wife. We both got sober on the same day. She knew that this was going to only succeed if we both jumped in with both feet. So, kudos to her. But on our first sober anniversary, my wife said the best thing and the worst thing to me. She told me, this has been the very first year I have truly been happy with you. Now, that made me happy, but on the same thing, it really brought me down low, because I'm like, geez, what kind of pile of you-know-what have I been as a husband in all these times? So her being able to have the courage to tell that to me sticks with me, and that's one of my main motivators to stay sober as we move forward. Yeah,
great perspective, Hunter. And it's an opportunity, right, to keep walking in that freedom. Recovery Reinvented. Let's give it up for Hunter. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate it, man.